If you're still tracking leads on sticky notes, in notebooks, or worst of all, in your head, this video is going to change everything. I'm about to show you exactly how to set up a lead tracker, aka a CRM, inside High Level so you never lose another lead again. I want to show you using the exact system that Jen Mullen, the mindful virtual assistant, shared with me recently. We had a conversation where she broke down exactly why a CRM is step number one for any business owner who wants to stop feeling overwhelmed and start actually converting their leads into clients. Now, if you're thinking, what the heck is a CRM? It stands for Customer Relationship Management. But don't let that fancy term scare you. It's really just a system to keep track of all your leads and clients in one place so you know who they are, what you talked about, and when to follow up. And if you haven't seen that interview yet with Jen, I'll link it below and you want to watch it. It is packed with gold. So, before we go too far, I'm Kim Roth. I am a business automation expert and certified high level admin with over 20 years' experience of turning chaotic processes into streamlined systems. I've seen what happens when you get your CRM right and what happens when you don't. I'm on a mission to help you simplify your software, streamline your systems, and scale without having to hire a huge team. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to set up a CRM in High Level so you can finally stop wondering, did I follow up with that person? And start confidently knowing exactly where every single lead stands in your business. First, let me quickly explain what a pipeline actually is. So think of your pipeline like an assembly line, and it's literally just a visual way to see where each of your leads is in your process. So from the moment they first contact you to when you had a conversation with them, to maybe when you sent a proposal, to when they signed, to project began. So instead of having all of that information floating around in your head, wondering, did I call them back? Did I send them that proposal? Did they reply back? Do we meet again? Like all of those questions that you're constantly asking yourself and trying to remember, if you put it inside of a CRM and you set up your pipelines so that you know where each lead is in your flow, then by just visually looking at it, you know exactly where everybody is and you don't have to keep remembering. All right, let's dive into High Level and start building a sample system for you. First, I want to show you the contact screen because this is where all your lead information lives. So if I click into my little test contact here, you can see that this center screen is tracking, opportunities. It's going to track emails. All of that information is going to show up here. This activity is showing you, which funnels they've clicked into, which pages they've clicked on. You also have tasks, so you can assign yourself a task here inside of High Level. You also have notes, so you can add any notes here and keep all of that information. So, if you have a meeting with a client or a contact, you can run that transcript through ChatGPT or Claude, get a summary, and add that in here as a note. It's going to track any appointments, any upcoming appointments, any past appointments that you've had, along with any contracts that you've sent them and any payments they've made. This last one is for associations and objects, and we're not going to get into that in this video. Okay, now what I want to show you is that you can add additional custom fields to your contact with information that you want to create. So when you come into High Level and go down to settings, there is a whole section for custom fields, and you can create any type of custom field that you want. So I'm going to create one that is going to be a personal touch field. Jen mentioned this in our video, and I loved this idea. So when you're talking with somebody and you're just getting, information about them through casual conversation, or you're following them on social and you can see that, oh, they have a boxer for a dog, or they have a Dachshund, or they love cats, or, they seem to always enjoy going to a Mexican restaurant, or they like to travel. Like all of that information you can add inside of your CRM as a field. And so I'm just going to add a field And I'm going to make it a multi-line because maybe we're going to know a lot of information about that person that you want to keep track of. And I'm just going to call it personal touch. We'll just call it personal touch information. We are going to leave it as a contact field. We're going to put it in the contact group. And then I'm not going to put a placeholder. And then I'm just going to hit save. The other field that I want to create while we're here is an opportunity status. So when Jen and I were talking, we both really love color coding so that at a glance, we can really see what is happening with our contact. So the other field that I'm going to create is going to be a drop down. And I am going to call it, opportunity status. This object type is going to be opportunity because I want it to show on the opportunity card. And then for the group, it's going to be opportunity details. So then inside of here, I am going to add my color codes. And the hack is to use the little circle emojis. So let's say blue is going to be brand new lead. Then we're going to use yellow for nurture. And so like you've had a conversation with them and you're just continuing to nurture them. And we'll do green. For aspect. We'll do red for lost lead. And I am going to do white for abandoned. Okay. You can add different statuses, but this is how, this is how it would work for you to have like a color coding for a status using a custom field. But you can add whichever ones you like, use whatever emojis you like, whatever makes sense for you. So now I'm going to click save. And then the next thing that I want to do is I want to come over here to the contact and this personal touch. I want to move it up here closer so that when I click on the contact inside of the contact screen, that personal touch field is going to be up here at the top. So it's showing up right here. So if I say love boxers and then click save, then that information will stay with that contact and you know right where to go find it. So you could also put it in a note, but then you'd have to go search through your notes to find that information. So this is just a quick, easy place for you to keep it. Now that we have a couple contact fields set up, let's go ahead and create the actual pipeline where you can visually track where each lead is in your process. So we are going to go up here to opportunities. We're going to go over here to pipelines, and I am going to create a new pipeline just called lead tracker. And you can have multiple pipelines. And if you have a podcast or an interview series and you want to track where each person is in that process, you can create a pipeline for that. So you have many opportunities in order to have that visual look of where your people are in any process inside of your business. So we're going to have new lead. So say this is somebody that you just met, they just came in, you haven't really talked with them yet, somebody referred you to them, you met them somewhere, had a casual conversation, and you want to follow up with them. So then let's say you have it in progress. So this is that you started the conversation. And then you have a closed. Like I said, we're just keeping it super simple here. Then here, when I go to view my lead tracker pipeline, you can see I have these buckets: new lead, in progress, and closed. Now we want to make sure that that custom status field that we created is going to show up in the pipeline card. So if you come over here to manage fields, and if I scroll down here, to opportunity status. That was that new field that I created. It's now showing up here as a selected field. So let me add a contact here. So I'm going to add my contact as an opportunity. And you can see down here is the opportunity status. I'm going to go ahead and just click brand new lead. And update. There we go. So there, now you can see that that status is showing right there. So I can visually see where they're at and what's happening with them. One of the things that we can do is actually create workflows behind this to handle your color code changes, to handle sending out emails, to add tasks to you, to send you internal notifications. All of that stuff can be handled through automations inside of High Level. So say manually, like we just want to move them over to opportunity in progress. And then you'd have to click on the card and come down here and be like, all right, so now they're in this nurture phase with me. And then you would click update. Well, what if we just sped this up and created a workflow that if you moved the lead over to in progress, it would automatically change their color. Now I'm going to show you how to create those automations. So if we click over here in automation, I am going to create a folder for my lead tracker automations. That way they're all organized in one spot. I'm going to create my first workflow from scratch and rename it 01.new lead. So then here I will create the trigger for opportunity created so that when you create a new opportunity inside of the lead tracker pipeline in the new lead stage, then it will kick off this workflow. And then I also want it to look at it when the stage is updated. So when the pipeline stage is changed in the lead tracker pipeline, to new lead. So if either one of those things happen, it will kick off this workflow. So the action is to update the opportunity. So I want to change that opportunity status to brand new lead. So here you could also add additional actions for like, sending them an email, sending yourself an internal email. You can add notes here. You can add tags here. You can do all sorts of additional tasks inside of here. We're just going to keep it simple and focus on updating that opportunity status. So I'm going to click save and I'm going to publish. I should have done that first. All right, so now there's the new lead workflow. Now I want to duplicate the workflow to in progress. And here I want to do the same thing. So I'm going to change this to in progress and save. This one goes to in progress and save. And then I'm going to update my opportunity to nurture. And now we're going to duplicate this one for 1. Okay. And we're going to come up here and for our trigger, we actually want to use opportunity status changed. And this here is the status 1 lost and abandoned, not the opportunity status custom field that we created. So I'm going to say in pipeline and then moved to status 1 and save. And then these two here, we don't need anymore. because this workflow is only going to work on whether you move them from to one lost abandoned, like I said. So then update opportunity. So this is our opportunity status, and I have a typo there. So we're going to go fix this. Oops. So save. We'll back out of here. If we go back into the custom fields and look for the opportunity status and then edit. So if you ever want to add statuses or change or fix typos, this is how you would do it. So I'm going to make it 1. Go back into the automations and click 1. And then down here, I can select 1. And then the other thing that I want to do is I want to move this over into the correct pipeline stage. So I'll show you how this works here in a second. So I'm going to say lead tracker, and then I am going to say pipeline stage, closed, save. Now we can duplicate that same workflow for lost and abandoned. And I'm just going to go ahead and duplicate this too. Abandoned. Now if we edit lost, so we're going to change this status to lost. Go ahead and change our opportunity color code status to lost. We still want them to go over into the closed stage. Publish and save. And then abandoned, we're going to change to abandoned and then update the opportunity for abandoned and click save. All right. So now that we have all of those workflows created, let's test them. So let's go create a contact and let's create just Donald Duck. So we have Donald at duck.com. We're going to click save. Now I can scroll down here and I can add him into the opportunity from the contact screen. So I can go ahead and click add, and then I can add him right here. That's the default it pulled up was the lead tracker, the new lead, and just go ahead and click create. When I come back here into the opportunity stage, then Donald Duck is here and he's already been color coded brand new lead. So this all worked. So let's say I had a conversation with Donald and I came back in and I want to go ahead and move him to in progress. So I can go ahead and drag my card over here. I can also come in here. I can click to bring up the contact details, and I can come in here and also add in additional notes for, that it was a great conversation. We're meeting in 2 weeks. I'm just going to put that in there. So we're meeting in 2 weeks. I'm going to click save. And now I have a note inside of here. So if I come back here, I didn't make any changes to there. You can see he's sitting in here under nurture. He's yellow. If when you move, your colors don't automatically update, you just need to go ahead and refresh your screen and it'll show. There's going to be a delay here between you moving the card over on the opportunity screen and that workflow running behind the scenes. So let me show you if you met with Donald and he decided that, yes, he wants to continue to work with you. You can go ahead and grab his card and move him down here to 1. So then when you do that, he's going to get moved over here into the closed. So check your filters. If he just disappears, check your filters and make sure that you are seeing all of the cards. And now you can see that Donald is sitting over here in the 1. So let's do the same thing. So let's say I ghosted you. And so you're going to say abandoned. And the same thing is going to happen. I'm going to show up here with an abandoned status. So this is how you can make it work with workflows behind the scenes and also keep those color codes working for you. The other thing that I really want to show you is you can set up a workflow for a birthday reminder. So if you know somebody's birthday, you grabbed it off of Facebook, mentioned it in passing, you can go ahead and update that inside of the contact. So it's showing right here is their date of birth. So you don't have to worry about the year. You can select any year and you can say that their birthday is, say, February 6th, and you have saved that inside of their contact. Then inside of the automations, they actually have some recipes that you can use that they've already kind of like pre-configured for you. But they're always a great start and they always kind of give you some different ideas for how you can use automations with your leads. All right, so then you can come here to create workflow. You are going to select a recipe this time. And if you scroll down here, there is one for birthdays. So we're going to go ahead and select it. And it is automatically going to populate a workflow for you. Now, if you scroll through this, you can see here's the birthday reminder. It's going to just automatically send them a text on their birthday. So say you don't want to do that. You want it to be more personal and you want to do it yourself. All you need to do is you can come in here and you can delete all the actions from here. And then you can add an internal notification to yourself. So you want to text yourself that it's, and you can grab contact name, birthday, send them a special message. So this way it will send you a text on that day for you to go out and send them your own custom personalized message. Now, let's say you want to send out a card or you want to do something where you kind of need to know a little bit more in advance. When it's their birthday, you can come into that trigger and you can add filters and you can say before, number of days, and you could say 7. Then you can come in here and change your internal notification to say it's contact's birthday next week, send them a card. And there are companies that you can integrate inside of High Level that would automatically send a card out or a small gift for your client. If that is something that you're interested in, just let me know. I can hook you up. So there is how you could also add in those special touches for a birthday. All right, so there you have it. That is how you can set up a lead tracker system, an AKA CRM, inside of High Level so that you never lose another lead again. I encourage you to start simple. Start with a pipeline with just a few stages, start with a few workflows, and then as you continue to use it, you can customize it for your business and your brain. So let me recap why this approach is so powerful for your business. First, you have one place for all your lead information. No more sticky notes, notebooks, or trying to remember who you talk to and when. Second, that color-coded pipeline gives you that instant visual feedback on where every lead stands. That way you can prioritize your time on the hottest prospects and you can see it quickly. Third, with the automations that we set up, your CRM can actually work for you. So let it automate some of those manual tasks for you. Let it automate moving stages and setting different statuses and adding different tags. Help it remind you for those birthday reminders or an anniversary reminder, and you want to send them a special gift for that. So this will help you keep everything organized without you having to remember everything. This is also a muscle that you have to make, that you have to continue to use in order to make it stronger. So you want to check your leads on a consistent basis. We recommend every day, let it be the first thing you do when you sit down at your desk, and make sure that you just keep them all in one place. Don't have leads over in high level and then you also have a spreadsheet and you also have a stack of sticky notes. We want to get rid of those sticky notes for sure and keep everything in one place. So if you want this setup built for you and your business, you can sign up for a free business process automation call with me where we can work through this for your business and talk through the best way for this to work for you. Don't forget to hit subscribe so that you're notified every time I put a video on here and you can learn simple ways that will help you automate your business.